Hello there. Welcome to episode 13 of Firemind. In the last episode, I was building up a hospital, a doctor's guild hall, a well, and the soap making department is also successfully in action now. So there's been a lot of things that have been happening. I also managed to build the first few lines of my Magma workshop, so we've been really busy and successful with a lot of things. I'm just fixing up a second bar of soap just for good measure before we go over to the new things that we want to do for today. So first of all, I want to introduce to you the fact that we have by now a squad of 6 people that are fully clad up and geared up for combat. They're all legendary fighters from previous fortresses, and this fine squad here, let's see, here, has been also really busy already in different fortresses. They are killing off chaos and different other things that are plaguing these lands. Now, it's really fun to check out what they've been doing in the past. Oh, this one killed an Etin in Grower. And Buzzard Women. I love the fact that this game writes down everything they did, bringing up a really detailed history of things. Now, we also have a lot of work ahead of us in the Civics department. This place is not looking too good, but also not too bad. The apartments are pretty well kept. The only problem is that a lot of furniture is still missing, but it will come together in time. So one of the first things that I really want to see through here is that we're going to increase the production ratios of these products by a lot. So in case you didn't know yet, this number here depicts how many of these jobs can be started simultaneously. So basically, it's also defining the total amount of workshops that can be busy with this job at the same time. That's pretty interesting because sometimes you just want to have a huge output of things and sometimes you don't. Now, we got as the next step what I want to do. I can't see enough of this. Construction that brings the water into the cistern here that we excavated in the last episode. No, but I'm getting sidetracked. What I wanted to do here is I want to make sure that this furniture stockpile is being deleted again so that these minecarts are being carried downstairs again where they can be refilled. We will have to do this now a couple of times. So the cycle will now be that the minecarts will be carried downstairs again, where they will be refilled with magma again, and then they will be building new magma workshops out of that. I'm really proud of my little dudes here. They keep slaughtering all those chaos. I don't know why the Chaos is so hostile to the dwarven kind, or why it is vice versa. I don't know. I just know it is a thing. Very much so. So, the good news is that this fortress is now pretty much finished with all its busy work and preparations. There's now the big tasks up ahead, and I was looking forward so much to this. So we have here a really good array of mine tunnels. We could, oh yeah, let's do this first, the next thing. We could here expand a little bit. We should, but overall, the next steps are designing the castle, the surface castle, designing new civic departments. No, I should call it different. Residential areas, that's more what I want to say. And designing the magma pump stack. That's the exciting part. So we now know where we can find magma. It is just really annoying that we'll have to work all the way upwards to our fortress back again. I don't know how I should do it differently. There is, for me, no other way of getting it done rather than looking for a area where we can excavate the pump stack shaft with ease, and then we are just going to work our way upstairs from there. start providing the necessary screw pump parts and build it up. You know, after all, no task is impossible if you're just stubborn like a dwarf, and that's what we're going to do. So this will be also the tallest pump stack that I've ever built in my history of Dwarf Fortress, so I'm already looking forward to it. This also means that we will need a couple of industries down first, though. We will not be able to do this without a proper class industry. It is really a big relief to me that we have sand available, so it shouldn't be much of a big deal for us to just bring up a couple of Magma glass workshops and just get this task started. We will construct the pump stack parts out of glass, as this is a Magma safe material, and I also have a very ingenious plan about that. You see, the story of this place is still revolving around Uzol. She is still the main protagonist, and she hasn't had her revenge yet. But there's cavies now. We are going to do one thing, but before we do that, I want to... here. This lady here likes clear glass. So, as it happens, clear glass can be made out of sand and potash. You know, potash is, or is it, was it regular ash? I need to recheck that. Either way, I do vaguely remember that burning trees is something that we can't avoid when we want to do that. So let's do as follows. We're going to set up a manufacturing cycle of clear glass. This is stupid as hell, okay? I really want to point out how dumb it is in some regard, as green glass is much easier to procure, but our main protagonist, the upcoming Baroness of this place, will want it like that. So we're going to set up a sand stockpile here. Don't ask me why, but sandbags are furniture. The stuff where you store your sand at is furniture. It is what it is. This also requires us to go back to these stockpiles and disable sandbags here, as this will save us from many ramifications here. Okay, we have the sand now down. The next job is collecting sand. So we make that being a activation when is it here? Sand bearing items. That's the term that we need. If there is no, not at least. We need less than one. If there's less than one piece of sand, we will collect 10 pieces of sand. So this should... Oh, wait a sec. We are going to make that a little bit smarter. We make that trigger once the threshold of 5 has been reached. And now we need sand collection zone. Alright, we got it any second. So, here. Sand. Sand collection zone. So, that's that. And next step, we will now... Let's see. To make clear glass... So let's see, make raw clear glass. Let's see what they bring up. So sand is already there. And it got deleted because needs pearl ash. I knew I was wrong about all this. It's called pearl ash. So let's do the thing here. Ugh, where was that stuff being made at again? Well, I'll be looking that up in the Wikipedia in between. I have simply forgotten it. I do think, though, that that we have to burn trees for that. I really hope so. So, think pearl ash was being made then here again? No. Ah, well, I'll be looking it up. I know that I once knew it, but it ain't that important. The most important things are already settled down. We got the amount. We got some place where we collect sand at, and that's the most important thing. We're gonna fetch up the rest of that as soon as Uzol is the Baroness. I think right now we should roleplay this the way as if our mayor is leading the shack, and let's see, Silab. What is his preference? If he has a crazy preference for clear glass as well, they are at least similar, but what do we have here? Bismuth bronze. All right. That's pretty good. We have a lot of gear made of bismuth bronze, but you see, we're going to work with regular glass until then. But I won't be creating crazy amounts of glass anyways anytime too soon. I just meant to prepare that. We have now the work orders down. I just now need to check back how to create pearl ash again. Jeez, that's always something with this game. But I hope that I will have the capabilities to do this. Back to another thing. I was recently considering what kind of building materials we are going to use. I've realized that granite is the stone that is just available in this fort. So we got chert and diorite. And I want to add in the granite as another block that we're going to use, as I find it really cool to use the most ubiquitous available, or the most available stones in that regard. So we are going to go for that as the next thing. I want to do a little storage hall back there. It's going to be another one of those bigger halls, as we need quite a lot of that stuff. And we are going to make it like this. So 3 squares from wall. No. The other way around. I'm sorry. Okay, so there we go. I almost killed the pillar. I mean, it's not bad if you kill a pillar or two. If you do patterns like these, it's actually pretty cool if you kill a pillar at times, as it allows you to just reconstruct them out of other fancy materials. This creates the look of an area where there's really just a lot of work getting done and reconstructions and the like. Wow! Okay, I'm getting ambushed by this huge glob of tasks. Okay, give me a second, guys. We need to go for granite. Then we can talk about all the other things, but I need to finish this train of thought first. Okay, so wheelbarrows up. The chaos are stealing cheese. Filthy little. Alright. I think we will have hunters here one day. Hunters that are killing off all of the chaos here in the vicinity. I like the idea of that. Okay, so this will be now where we're storing tons of granite. This will be also the beginning of a really, really huge industry of that stuff, but that's okay. Because I have set my mind on the fact that we're going to build most of the outside parts of the castle now out of granite. Because let's check back. Yeah, we already have 2,000 boulders of that stuff. No other rock is that available, so we're going to use that. We're going to use, like, let's say, we're going to store 1,000 granite blocks at a time, and we're going to run 20 jobs at a time. Yeah, I know, this looks like a lot, because it is a lot. We will also start storing these granite blocks outside here. Or inside? I think inside is wiser. So, I mean, we have thieving birds here after all, but nah. It's okay. It's okay. My barracks is right in front of that place, so it should work out. So we're going to bring up the granite blocks over here. As it were, eases up so much of the logistics of your fort, and when you have lots of blocks available where you want to build at. It's just simple as that. We're gonna carry all the blocks that we require over to the surface, and now, happy carving, my friends. Happy grinding, because grind you will. We're going to bring up a couple of extra stoneworkers workshop for that task. And let's see. Let's head back downstairs one more time. All right. First minecart is down. We need more of these. And I'll be doing some planning sometime soon. We need to probe for the Magma Sea. Let's do this like that. Let's see. What I need to do next is to find out how the cartography of the magma ocean is actually really looking like, as we really need to find out where we can drill a hole down to the magma sea. One straight shaft. We only need to have it 4 squares wide, as we only need to have a pump stack in the center and ramps left and right to transport the magma up or down. So that means we really need to find one location that is not being interrupted by the caverns, that drops down to the magma ocean 150 elevation levels straight downwards. This will be a little bit of a difficult task, I'm afraid, but to get started with that, we need to know more about the magma ocean. Here we see that this is a tiny puddle, so to say. It's a closed chamber, and I really hope that we're going to be able to do some magma sea cartography here. So as you see here, I'm now going crazy in terms of expansion and the like. There we go. So, deep down we find silver. I didn't expect to find metal down here, but alright. So one thing is getting clearer and clearer. This sector, this quadrant here, seems to have all the metals in the fort. And we have starving horses. Guess who hasn't assigned creatures to the pastures again? Me! It's always the same with me. People arrive at the city, I don't realize that they brought animals, and then I forget about it. End of the story. It's a quite tragic one, too. Alright. So, warm stone located. So at this point we need to go upstairs and drill the same madness there, as I want to check now. We're going to go one level above, and then we're going to drill down one level, because we want to be very careful. If there is magma behind that wall, this entire cavern system will be unsafe, and we'll have to start all over again. I don't want that. So we are going to be careful about that. There's warm stone all over, but that's okay. So we're going to go now to this location. And as you see there, we're going to go past this hump, and then we're going to drop down here, just like that. So, who wants a guild hall? The stoneworkers. Yeah, alright. This is very, very fitting thing. Give me a sec, my friends. I'll need to check back with you, or I will check back to you within a second. I need to make sure that no terrible accidents happen, no entrances for monsters are being accidentally opened and left open. You know, regular deal. Alright. We're finding quite some valuable gemstones down here. Topaz is, yeah, well, just like the red zircon that we find way above, just valuable little fella. But it is totally okay right now to go for explorations, as we have here really enough work to do. More than enough work to do. And look at that. Ah, jeez. This is a really, really rich fortress as it is right now. To me, it seems that we have the metals all in that cluster here, but we also seem to have these metals on dozens of levels available now. Dozens of levels, as it stands right now. Alright, I want to know... So, no magma ocean down here. So we're going to go one level deeper. See how it goes there. This unusual volcanic wall studded with gems is also exactly what we're looking after, as these are candy piles. Let's call it like that. It's where we can mine adamantine, which will be also another really important task of this forge. We have so many things up ahead of us, my friends. It's really a lot of tasks. Alright, but I like it this way. So we can easily and safely carve this out, as there is no risk involved, as we know now. But you have to check it out first before you know. Alright, let's put a piece of floor on top of this, so nobody can accidentally summon the monster disease. Okay, we found another pocket of magma. So we got to go over to this arm. Yeah, let's drop it down like that. And we will maybe go for an excavation like this. Alright. Now, I think this is a good moment for me to go to my friends, the stoneworkers. So, I think the timing couldn't be better, as we right now have so many big tasks ahead of us. It is really just this perfect moment for the stoneworkers to get their guild hall. The big question for me is, though, which direction will I go? But I think this way, as I want to have the capability to expand my work halls into this direction. So we're going to dig out a nice little thing like that. I really want to give these guys a pretty pompous hall, as they are really so important for the entire fortress that they really deserve one fancy room for themselves, or several. We'll see about that. Okay. So... let's see, don't I have limestone blocks or anything like that? We're gonna build with marble blocks. It's really, really very... how to put it? It's not efficient to use a boulder for just a piece of wall that somebody has to carry all the way from down there, but that's okay. It's the stoneworker skill hole after all. So there's a lot of metal there. We will find so much metal. But I also now know that my entire mining operations will be centered around this cluster, because if we scroll all the way up here, we will notice at some point I said, here, that also the metals that I found so far were also all bundled around this center here. I wanted to showcase that. And I think this is where we will find lots and lots of metal. That's really cool. So we have a abundance of lead. So I really have to consider something to do out of that, as this is a very exotic wealth to have. It is one of the heaviest metals in the game. I think it's even the heaviest metal. I'm not sure. The problem about it is it's very soft, so you can't use it to make weapons out of it. But you can use it for example, for minecarts to run over people with. They're excellent in that regard, as they are super heavy. You see, there is always a use of things. And for some odd reason, dwarves are also able to drink out of lead goblets without any problems. Must be the dwarven blood, I don't know, but they just don't worry about that. So the guild hall, the Aquamarine Finger, has been founded. So... Oh god, this thing is not symmetrical. We need to carve out an entire extra wall here. Like that. That should do the trick now. Yeah, now it's looking not wonky anymore, I think. Well, small things, very important small things. So another thing that is really important to me is that we're putting up a engraver skill hall here, because it is time that Silob is taking apprentices. My engraver from the previous fortress is still with us here, and he is, like you see, a super fast engraver. But I personally think it is really about time that he's also taken apprentices. We cannot leave that task alone on his shoulders, so we're going to bring up that guild hall here. And something like that. Bit of artsy little cavities. And we're going to order... First off, I need some silver bars. So, let's smelt some native silver. I also realized that I want to unemploy the other smelters here. They are not necessary anymore. Magma workshops are just superior. End of the story. Okay, we got the silver bars, and I want to make a silver statue. Actually, two of them. Dedicated to one Silob lightning ringed. I really think he has deserved by now some statuary for himself, right? Right, I think so too. So we're going to encrust. Is this the workshop that I configured? Okay. So one specific job for this workshop: encrust furniture with cut gems. And you do that until you cannot anymore. There we go. So this should do the trick. So whatever can be encrusted will be encrusted. Alright. How's the minecart business going? Not too well. Alright. So, we got to drill a hole down here. And the auto butcher protocol is going so darn well. Can totally recommend it, as it is one super comfy and cheap way to get the job done, to manage your whole animal business and whatnot. Really enjoy it. Alrighty, so we're doing more Magma C cartography here, as I find it extremely powerful as we are getting more and more a picture of our environment here, making all these many mining people here really worthy of their task. So I will put Silob's statues, of course, into the engraver skill hall that I will be founding there, and then we're going to take new apprentices for the old chap. I am actually considering to use the apprentices pretty exclusively for the rest of the fortress. I will, though, re-employ Silob whenever there is something special to be done. That should work quite decently. So. Dwarfy Dwarf's being complicated again. Instead of that one miner who already was around the corner picking up the task again, he's like, oh, no, I have a mug of beer waiting up the stairs for me. Yeah, always the same. So, whoever is going there, he's taking a while, or she's taking a while. All right, but either way, I'm really happy as we see ourselves getting closer now to the actual big tasks ahead. You know, so far the last dozen of episodes or so, I was mostly going for the busy work, the stuff that you have to do if you want to build a fortress. You know, you cannot build a fortress without doing these things. So yeah, now we're going down to the real interesting business, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. I hope I'm not killing somebody with that task. I might be, but no, I don't think so. So far, the Magma Sea was always on another height level. Ugh. Yo, there we are. So, as you see, we're getting a more and more complete vision of the area that we're working here. So, that also gives me the opportunity to know where I can pump my magma from. That's been the whole idea, actually, by the way, with all that probing. So I can know where I can get my magma drilled from. But as you see here, the deeper we go, the more options we got. But yeah, more about that once I have done some studies where we are finding ourselves some straight drop, some straight shaft we can work with. That's really currently the biggest issue of mine, that I don't know for real where we're supposed to dig down deep to create a pump stack that goes down to the center of the earth. It's pretty crazy, but it's what we're doing. So, my good friends, I'd say it is sadly time to say goodbye for today. We will continue next time, building up the guild hall for our dear esteemed Silab, the stone, the engravers themselves, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty great. I am so much looking forward to the next episode, my friends. Oh, we have a new artifact in the making, and elves have arrived. Okay, we're going to take the elves into the next episode. Comments down below, a thumbs up would be appreciated. Consider subscribing. Check out the description box. There is plenty of links down there leading to the rest of the Civic Lands series and to this series, and of course Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee. I'd be deeply delighted if you'd give them a look, and a big thanks to everybody watching these series, supporting the channel. This way is the best thing I could wish for. Have a good time, and see you soon. Goodbye.